Beautiful ears that allow you to hear.
Oh yes, I like that actually. Appreciate what is there already rather than tearing it down. Oh, this is going to be a good one, Melissa. I'm excited. So, hello everyone, excuse me, and welcome back to the YesSHECan project. In fact, the first episode of 2024, it has been a whirlwind few months, to say the least. So happy to announce that my very first guest of the new year is the gorgeous Melissa Porter. Hello, Melissa.
Hi. Hi. Oh, yeah, I forgot to speak there.
You got so enthralled in your wave. How are you doing?
Really good, really good. We just had such a juicy chat, and I wish people we should have had like a behind the scenes chat, because that was really hot stuff. That was good.
It was. It's a shame we weren't recording at the time, and then I could have like added a few little extra videos in there, couldn't I?
Yeah, that was good.
So, for anybody who doesn't know who you are, where you're from, what you do, please give us a small introduction.
Interesting. Right. So I'm Melissa Porter. I'm obsessed with human behaviour. I'm really excited. Thank you, Michelle, for inviting me on your podcast. I'm a massive advocate of inspiring women and men equally, but particularly women, to step into becoming the best versions of themselves, and also men. By the virtue of the fact that we're making ourselves better, that they will also be improved versions of themselves. So my background, I'm a marketeer by trade. I went to university in Manchester.
Okay.
And my life's been pretty amazing. I ended up on TV. I've retrained as a therapist. I build houses. I've got a beautiful 13-year-old boy who's recently been adopted by my partner of 5 years almost.
Oh, that's so cool.
I'm 5'10", size 12, growing every day, brown hair.
Sticking your measurements on there as well for good measure.
I don't know, what does it mean? Who are you? Do you know what I mean? Who are we? We're such
It's a big question, actually, isn't it?
What do you mean? Like, to some people, who are you? Well, I've never had Botox. I've never had fillers. I don't know. What do you mean by who am I? Who am I as a human, as a physical being? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is a big question that could go like loads and loads deeper, definitely. So
Yeah.
we'll touch on for now. So for 22 years, you were on our screens an awful lot in property programs like Escape to the Country, To Buy or Not to Buy, Countryfile, all of those. And I think it was a really interesting time, to be honest with you, Melissa, because that was when like property programs started like really being a thing at that moment, didn't they?
Does that make me the OG? Am I an
I
OG
think it does.
with Phil and Kirsty? Oh,
Yeah. Location,
yeah.
location, location.
Yeah, I love them. Yeah, Phil and Kirsty, they're fabulous. Yeah.
So how did you get into, like, is it like they say, like you see or you read, is it kind of like, oh, I got my big break? Does it happen that way? Or is it like damn hard work and then it pays off?
Yeah. Look, TV for me was never something that was on my vision board.
Okay.
I remember as a little girl, I was kind of conditioned to get married. So there was
Right.
always pictures of wedding dresses pulled out. My mum's Jewish, my dad's Catholic.
Okay.
So my environment that I was kind of bred in, my social conditioning, was very traditional, in the sense that women stayed at home and raised a family, and men would be the hunters and gatherers. They would do the providing. So I remember pulling out pictures of wedding dresses that I really liked, and that was my parents' mission, and my conditioning in my mind was to be a good girl that would find a man. And I remember my dad saying things like, Melissa, you really need to stop being so gobby. You're so lippy. No man's ever going to put up with you. And if you think about the effect, the psychological effect to a 12-year-old
Oh,
between 12 and 16, and a woman, a young girl in their formative years, hearing from their kind of hero in life that my natural opinion, my natural ability to communicate, I didn't cultivate this. It just kind of popped out.
yeah.
I like to chat. So my naturalness, I was being told by my hero that that was bad. That was wrong. So that was interesting.
It's almost
and
like
then-
dumbing yourself down in order to please other people. That's the message that was kind of being delivered.
That was the message. And by the way, I'm not slagging off my dad in any way. It was just factually, that was the narrative that I had heard, which is very interesting. So, and another thing that I believe, Michelle, is life leaves clues. So if you imagine at 12, I was told I was too gobby. Oh, and look what happens. I end up with a career on television. Bingo. Anyway, so I ended up getting married when I was maybe 20, 21, I don't know, really, really young.
Okay.
And he was lovely, you know, but I had low self-worth. And I think these things are linked to who you pick. Not that he's not a lovely man. He was a really handsome, really lovely man. But I was in a restaurant in Chelsea in London, and someone stole my handbag.
Oh.
And he saved it for me. He was the barman there, and he needed a green card. Bingo. I'm going to make mum and dad happy. You know, because at the time I was a marketeer, probably, you know, I was working for Kodak, probably earning £50,000, which, you know, 30 years ago is, and still now is amazing cash. But my degree was in marketing. So I went on to start earning, which did not meet, I felt, the approval of my parents.
Okay.
Naughty girl, earning money. That is the domain for men.
Right.
Subconscious training going on in my head. Ended up marrying this guy who's lovely. We stayed married for several years. Simultaneously, I was developing houses because I'd watched my parents do it. It was just something that was natural to me. My dad gave me £10,000 when I was 21 and said, buy yourself a dress, little girl. So I thought, I will show you, Daddykins. That was the motivation inside me, and I started buying houses when I was 21 in Streatham Vale. So
how did you even know to buy houses at that age?
Well, that's my point, Michelle. I'd watched my parents, and you know, one of my tattoos says "fearless." There you go, on my wrist. So, you know, apart from the conditioning that I had in me, which was to be a people pleaser, a good little girl that wasn't gobby, I also had a fearlessness, and that was born from my dad. He was first generation Italian. He'd arrived in England with no money. He was completely self-made. He had created a life for himself that held up. You know, a family of 4. He put me and my sister through private school.
Wow.
You know, no one had given him any money. So I had fearlessness. So I'd copied them, because a way my dad made money, apart from selling cars, was buying homes.
Okay.
So he and my mum renovated them. So obviously it's your primary residence, you're not subject to tax to the government. So he was benefiting from all the capital appreciation on the houses.
Amazing.
And I just thought, this is quite easy. You just get an amazing team of builders, renovate it, and then sell it on. So I ended up with this big kind of, you know, I started buying and selling loads of properties. Anyway, I'd got married. My parents didn't love my choice of partner. For many reasons, but you know, and it was nothing to do with him. He was an incredible guy. It was just.
Were you happy though?
Their view, no, absolutely miserable. But it was their view of what my life ought to look like. It didn't correlate. So we ended up divorcing. And then I was kind of, I was remember I was a marketeer. I was simultaneously project managing and redeveloping houses. And then I was doing my work. I was consulting for a marketing agency in Knightsbridge, home search, and I was helping people relocate over. And some might call it luck, but I don't believe in luck. I believe that the whole of our lives are predetermined and that we're always in the right place at the right time. And my boss got a call, James Moss, does anybody there want to do their job on TV? And my boss, you remember, when I was a kid, I'd always had these dreams about being married, but I'd also have these dreams about being glamorous.
Okay.
Which is really interesting. I'd always pictured myself wearing a pencil skirt. I would like to fit in a pencil skirt nowadays, Michelle.
Same.
But how we have these little notions in our heads. It's almost like a vision board's going on in our head. Be aware of it. Whoever's listening to this, just be aware of what's on your vision board, because our mind is always creating. It's a mind map, says Joe Dispenza. Anyway,
we've got one up here already. It's about kind of seeing it through to fruition, because the more that you think about it, the more you kind of tune into it in a way.
Interesting. Yeah. So your belief is the more that you're aware of it, or the more that you sit with it?
I think both. I think if you have something in your mind and something specifically that you want to achieve, especially for the ladies who are watching who have got businesses, I think a lot of the time the only thing that stops us from getting to that point is the barriers that we put in our own way, that we have about ourselves. Because I think anything is possible. There is so much proof out there that anything is possible. So really it's about going back to basics and looking about, why am I not moving to that point? Why can I not take those steps? And then dealing with the stuff at surface level, because most of the time it is. And it is about the way that we feel about ourselves that holds us back the most.
I mean, that's beautiful. Yeah. Look, for me, manifesting or, attracting, the life that we want, I consider myself like a major manifester. I've always kind of had these kind of beliefs. I've almost got no filter. And I would encourage anybody listening to this just to think about their filters. Because for me, the filters are fear, which is why I have my tattoo, fearlessness. A filter that's blocking your miracles is fear. Doing things in duty, feeling obligated, not really wanting to do them, but doing things out of duty, as opposed to doing things that fill you with joy.
Yeah.
We need to be not all the time, obviously, but we need to do things. So other filters that block our miracles: fear, guilt, shame. Deal with the trauma, ladies. Deal with your trauma. Yeah, these are our gifts that help us heal and then take us to the next level of our life.
Yeah, definitely.
Read my book. Bit of a plug. Mastering Single Parent. Not just for parents. Yeah, it's for anybody that wants to deal with their shame, deal with their trauma. What are the blocks? Guilt, resentment, judgment, negativity. Yeah, I looked at myself in the mirror, and yes, I know I look like a certain way, and people have picked me to promote their products, so perception is that I look a certain way. I still have negative feelings, as everybody does. It's just human. And I looked in the mirror today and I thought, oh my gosh, Melissa, you're 51. Wow, your face is really like your eyes. Because I haven't had Botox and that's fine if you have Botox, but not for me, or fillers yet. And then I thought, stop right there. This is the only face you're going to have. The only body you're going to have for the entire, 80, 90 years of your existence. Come on, that what blocks your miracles in life is judgment, negativity, shame. And, you know, when I'm looking at my hips and my little flabby belly, that's not kind. That's blocking my miracles.
Yeah.
And as women, we need to stand forward in our power, not in a big-headed way. I'm amazing. You have to feel like, you know, we're here as a tribe, a tribe of women, and we are each beautiful, perfectly imperfect beings with our different hair color. I'm completely grey. I dye mine every 2 weeks. Happy days. That works. You know, with our ears, different sizes, with our necks, different lengths. We're just part of the same pulse. You know, we're women, and more than that, we're humans. We're connected with men as well. So let's not rise at their fall.
Yeah, and it's almost like let's put our kind of outer to one side and let's concentrate what kind of people we are in our souls and what makes our souls happy. What kind of person are you truly, and what do you want to do kind of in the world, really? Because our souls are far more important than what's on the outside, because this is always going to change. If you're happy with what's on the inside, then it's always going to stay consistent throughout your life.
Yeah.
And help other people.
Well, that's interesting, that, Michelle, because that's what went wrong with me. So I then got this call to the marketing company I was working for, and they said, look, you know, have you got anybody that can do what they're doing in real life on television? Yes, my boss said Melissa Porter can do it. That's the abridged version, yeah?
Yeah.
So I ended up hosting a primetime show called Get a New Life for the BBC. That was I met Remy Blumenthal. He was the visionary behind the brand, you know, and it went on for year after year, and I was essentially helping people relocate around the world. Now the issue, well, you say that, but the issue that I had was I was a people pleaser. Just remember, I had been told by my dad, not slagging him off, that I was too opinionated and gobby, and my narrative was, gosh, I'm talking too much.
Oh,
my opinion. Shush, Melissa, quiet. So I always, you know about the imposter syndrome, the monkey mind. Everybody's got that. If you're listening and you've got it, everybody's got it. Even Donald Trump has got it. But what we do, you know, if we're involved in the world, you know, of coaching and therapy and, you know, the spiritual world that's becoming more prevalent, is we learn to manage our monkey mind and become friends with it.
Yeah, give it a name.
Actually,
call it Bob.
Yeah, there's different. We are each different personalities. Doesn't necessarily make us, you know, mean we have to be diagnosed with bipolar or, you know, or narcissistic disorder, whatever. We just have different heads, and we play different personalities. So I had this imposter syndrome that was basically telling me, you're a piece of shit. Like, you do not deserve this job. You are big-headed, because I was told that by my parents. I was big-headed. Even when I tried to be quiet, people always used to say, why do you have to be the center of attention? And I used to think, even my presence is triggering you. And okay.
I can even see like your shoulders like go down when you're describing how it made you feel. So it made you feel like you had to keep shrinking in order to please other people all the time. That must have been exhausting.
Yeah, but guess what? I bet there's loads of people listening to this thinking, oh my gosh, I do that in a meeting. My friend's a partner for Ernst Young. She's head of M&A, mergers and acquisitions. She sat on a Cisco call, you know, a virtual conference. And I think she was one of the only female partners, and there was 70 male partners sitting around the world attending this. So she's responsible for bringing in women. You know, I bet there's women and men that are listening to this thinking, yeah, why do I have to wait my turn? Why do I seek permission? Why am I looking for external validation?
Yeah.
These are all monkey mind. Anyway, so I ended up having this incredibly glamorous, you know, career on television. I was asked out by George Clooney, you know, David Ginola, all these funny people I was around. You know, I was traveling here, having all this access, and I felt like an imposter.
Oh, bless.
But isn't that interesting? Because I wonder how many other people are blocking the miracle of their life with fear-filled
Yeah.
thoughts, with guilt. I felt guilty. Why am I doing this? There's way more pretty people. There's way more intelligent people. You know, wait a minute. Maybe this is my time. And maybe
Exactly.
your time, Michelle, and who's listening to this, maybe it is your time to relish and enjoy what's around you instead of feeling guilty.
Exactly. So you have such an understanding, Melissa, like based on all of your experiences, but also I feel like I know you're interested in human behavior. How did you go from that switch to what your life was like to being like, right, okay, I need to train as a counselor. I need to help people with their own trauma. Was there a particular catalyst for you?
Yeah, there was, because, well, my father was very dominant, very dominant. Yeah. Maybe you would describe him as chauvinistic, um, you know, and you know, derogatory towards women. I don't know. However you want to describe that personality. And then I started realizing, you know, that I would be in friendship situations that would see me going out on weekends out of duty. And my duty within of me was activated because I had some assertive friends who wanted me to do what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I just used to do it robotically without thinking. And I didn't used to enjoy. I don't like going in pubs. I don't drink beer. I don't like making small talk. You know, I've never read a non-fiction book in my life. You know, I read kind of biographies or kind of, you know, Stephen Hawking, brief answers to big questions. I don't read made-up books. Yeah, I like biographies and things like that.
Yeah.
So I'm going in pubs and I'm thinking, I'm doing this out of duty. So my dad was quite overbearing. Then some of my friendships, I realized there was a certain thread. And then I started working in TV, and it's very hierarchical.
Right.
And I'm an inclusive person. I don't care what you look like, and I don't care, you know, how much money you've got. If I like you, I like you. If I like your energy. If I don't, you know, you'll be happier with somebody else, you know, as a friend. In TV, some of the runners were not being treated very well, and I didn't like that. I thought that's really, you know, bullying behavior. And then I had this, she was an executive producer, and I'm not going to say who she was, and I'm not going to say which show she was, but she was basically a bully. And she used me as a scapegoat because originally the show that I was involved in, whatever show it was not doing very well. Fortunately, I grounded myself, stood my time, and I, you know, it all transpired that actually she was not doing a great job, not me. So that all came out. And then I had a child with a man who sued me for child abduction, which was just, what are you even talking about?
Like, your own child?
Yeah, exactly.
How can you abduct your own child?
Well, people do from third world countries, you know, and it was that. I had a breakdown. My dad had also just died. My mum got diagnosed with breast cancer, and
bloody hell.
And I literally just broke down. But I think if anybody's listening, right, don't get too excited. But if you are losing your schnitzels, this is it's easy for me to say now, oh my gosh, hold on. Make sure you're surrounded with people that are grounded and safe, and just enjoy the ride. It is so exciting having that experience, because I can't tell you, you are going to come out the other side who knows when, it might be tomorrow, might be in a week, a month, a year.
Mm-hmm.
You're not ever going to recognize your life. So this is your breakthrough. It's not your breakdown. So I
get ready for what's coming. Be excited.
Yeah. I had that experience. You know, a quarter of women now are on Prozac, you know, around the world. I was not diagnosed. The psychiatrist said to me, look, you know, you've got a lot of shit going on. Your dad's just died. Your mum's got breast cancer. You're being sued for child abduction. You're probably really depressed. Have some Prozac, he diagnosed me. And for some people, that's really right. For me, I wanted to understand how I could stop this pattern.
Yeah.
Because I believe that life leaves clues. And as I've told you, you know, my dad, the friends, the bully at work, and then the bully of the relationship, which it wasn't the only bully relationship I've ever dated. I had a series of them. I thought, oh my God, I am the common denominator. I am involved. I'm not blaming myself. Do not blame yourself, because that's another block. That's another block for receiving your miracles. Blame. Yeah. I am the common denominator in every single one of those relationships. I was front center stage. So I thought, right, I'm going to deal with something that's going on. The therapist said to me, no, that's not what Prozac does. It numbs down your emotions. And I said, well, what happens when you numb down your emotions? He says, well, you just stop being so sad. I said, no, I need to know the root cause.
Wow.
What is causing bullies? And I call this now, as part of my therapy, a recalibration exercise.
Okay.
So you can do this yourself, yeah? But it's, you know, if you read my book, Mastering the Single Parent Game, you know, it will give you some tips and tricks in there. A recalibration exercise is, if you've got a problem in your life, look for the common themes, the common behavior that's occurring. And in my life, it was aggressive bullies. And I had become a people pleaser to cope with the aggressive bullies, because I had learned in my childhood to cope with my dad. I just needed to be passive. That would keep me safe. Doing what he said would keep me safe. Anyway, so I didn't take the Prozac, and it's fine if you do take Prozac, by the way. I'm not saying, you know, don't take Ozempic, don't take Botox just because I don't take it. I'm not saying that. Do whatever works for you. I did not want to take it.
But Melissa, the fact that you had the presence of mind to want to delve deeper into that and find out more within yourself and explore that with your therapist is a pretty amazing feat, especially when you were at that stage when you were so low.
Yes, thank you. But guess what, right? When you've lost everything, I mean, what more can go wrong than being accused of stealing your child?
I know.
And that's another thing, you know, for anybody listening to this, just look at your life, right? Because what happens to life is, if you do not repair problems that are occurring in problems, we'll talk about that are occurring in your life, you will repeat them. What we don't repair, we shall repeat. That's a cliche. Okay. If we don't repair the problems that are going on in our life, they will repeat themselves. I had nothing left to lose. I had lost. What are you threatening to take away our child? What are you even talking about? For me, that is like the most valuable thing that I can own in my life. So I was forced. Truthfully, I was forced. And you know what, Michelle? Most of us are lazy bitches. We want the pill. If you go on Happy Pills, we're supporting Happy Pills. I've got loads of Happy Pills, quick videos, to kind of fixes to general problems. Most of us want a pill. That's why we're taking, not we, but I'm saying generally, there's a Ozempic out there, which is, you know, giving you instant weight loss. There's fillers that are giving you big juicy lips. There's Botox that's giving you eternally youthful faces. We want the pills.
It's all about the quick fixes, isn't it? Rather than the deep diving.
that you're not going to, if you want a better life, stick with the learning.
Yeah.
Stop watching Housewives of Beverly Hills. Stop watching Housewives of Cheshire. Read shit like my book, Mastering the
I love that.
Even if you're not a parent, read this book. You know, The Body Keeps Score by Bezel van der, what is he called? Kolk. Yeah, you do the work. Yeah, just an hour a day. You know, in the same way that we feed our body, lunch, breakfast, and dinner, feed your mind with good quality stuff. So I was really forced. My transformation was forced upon me because, you know, when you have a breakdown, there's many other people that are smarter than me, and that they read books, they watch podcasts like yours, you know, they take the bull by the horns themselves. And I would encourage that process rather than having a breakdown, because it's quite dramatic having a breakdown.
Yeah, dramatic and traumatic, isn't it?
It's traumatic. Yeah. I couldn't, and at that point, for various reasons, my ex had drained the swamp. You know, he was a certain personality type who, you know, looked to control me. So he borrowed hundreds of thousands of pounds off me for various reasons. You know, that's a profile of a certain, you know, aggressive behavioral type. That's one of the things that they do.
So elicit control over every aspect of you, your being, and your environment.
Yeah, I was very controlled. Yeah. So so what happened was, I thought, oh my gosh, I don't even know about therapy. I didn't even know. That's why I chose a psychiatrist. No disrespect to psychiatrists. I would never use a psychiatrist because it's not right for me.
Yeah.
But without going in, well, so I'd been trained that the psychiatrist was the best therapist to use because they were educationally the smartest.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
But what I know now about therapy is that's not relevant for me anymore. No. I'm not interested. Just because someone is educationally trained, that to me does not make them the best. Anyway,
no.
So, I thought I can't afford therapy, so I trained myself and I went to college to learn how to be a counsellor. I'd recommend it.
Yeah,
it's really good. Yeah, you learn so much about yourself.
So not only did you go on that learning journey about yourself, did that then, because you're very much a people person, you like to understand people, you like to be around. I know you said you don't like to do small talk, like part of your personality, but I feel like you love to understand people and you love to learn from them as well as learning about yourself. How did you then be like, right, okay, I want to train in this, but I want to help other people at the same time? Where did that come from, do you think, once the work had finished?
Yeah. Look, I mean, you'll know this because I sense that you're in your passion and purpose. You're connected. You know, you can feel a resonance. That's almost like an energetic vibration. Have you ever walked into a room and thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to meet somebody now? And you do?
Yeah.
Or conversely, have you ever walked in a room and thought, oh my gosh, that person, I just don't know why. I don't really want to be around them. So for me it's all about an energetic vibrate. I forgot your question now. What was that?
Like, what was the catalyst for you to, after you had trained yourself and learned about yourself, what made you want to then help other people?
So for me, it's just always been my calling. So you know, I realized that like life leaves clues, and I realized that it's interesting. I thought my whole career, my marketing career, was about marketing is about creating a product or a service to satisfy a person's needs.
Yeah.
Bingo, first clue. Second career that I had, property development. I was only good at it because estate agents used to ring me because they know if I say I will do it, I will do it. I walk my talk. Yeah. And secondly, I never fell out with my builders. They came with me project to project to project because I look after them.
Yeah.
I don't try to rip them off or win at their expense. So, you know, for me, my building game was all about relationships with estate agents and with builders. Yeah. People. Then I got onto TV, and although I didn't really enjoy the television production side of things, I didn't like it at the top level. I think it's extremely hierarchical, elitist, and I would say Remy was incredible, but some of the senior executives, I wouldn't even give them the time of the day. I wouldn't give them the time of the day. I don't like people, you know, who are myopic in their thinking. But when I was working with the contributors on Countryfile, Escape to the Country, I loved helping them find their houses, living their dreams, hearing, you know, their fears, you know, their excitement. People. That's the common theme. And I would encourage you listening to this podcast now, if you're thinking about diversifying in your career, or, you know, I don't know, trying to recruit new customers, just think, what is my kind of USP? What is my value? And look at the threads through your life that are dominant. And by the way, you know, even, you know, as a housewife, you know, there's still ways to fulfill your passion and purpose. Yeah, through lockdown, I was obsessed with kind of natural food. And I was a housewife, and I was embracing it. Yeah, I was buying veg boxes, or, you know, natural food from the farmers and stuff. And so you don't have to be a high-flying CEO just to have a passion and purpose. At any level, as a woman, we can fulfill our passion and purpose.
And I think as well, though, the most passionate and successful female entrepreneurs in particular are the ones that started their business or their service from a passion and a need. It was maybe a need that wasn't fulfilled for them, so they want to make sure it's fulfilled for other people. I think it's a really powerful thing. That the same with you in your journey.
Interesting. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, well, that's what happened with my counseling. You know, I thought, gosh, I just love this so much. And you can, my clients could feel it. I'm obsessed. Look, I don't want you to when I'm talking to my clients, I don't want the transformation more than you do. Yeah. You have to want it. And that's what I said to you before we started filming this. You know, you can drag a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And most of us are lazy bitches. We want.
That's going to be the strapline for this whole episode. Most of us are lazy bitches.
We want. Well, that's what I talk about a lot in my therapy. Toxic therapy. I am sick and tired of clients sitting there. I hate my boyfriend. I hate my husband. I hate my job. Right, let's move on now. Well, you're invalidating my feelings. Well, I'm not invalidating your feelings. We've processed them for 3 sessions. Yeah. And I trust myself, client. I feel that we can move to a different area now.
Yeah.
Let's no longer keep blaming. Let's move outside of blame, because that's when we step into our power. When we're blaming, we're basically still up someone else's arse. I mean,
you're stuck there.
That's what I say to my clients, because neurologically it will shift something in your brain. I know that's really vulgar, but forget the toxic therapy. Like, let's move back into our power. So, okay, my ex is a piece of shit hanging off a rake. We're clear on that. What do I want for my life? Yeah, based on the fear that he inspires with me. Yeah, first of all, we're going to heal the fear, and then what we're going to replace when we move aside the fear, what we're going to have inside of ourselves. Freedom, opportunity, abundance. Now, where are we going to take that? What's the next step for you?
Amazing. No wonder you're so good at your job. I sat there and forgot the next question.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's fascinating though, Michelle, because if you think about it, right, there's 72 genders. right? There's 72 new genders. There's male, female, and 70 other genders, right?
Okay.
All this means is, right, this isn't a gender revolution, right? This is a who am I revolution.
Yeah.
You know, we're just tipping the iceberg of figuring out who we all are. What do I need? I say to clients, and my son, my 13-year-old boy, by the way, just in case you didn't know, I've got a book out, Mastering the Single Parent Game, available on Amazon. It's not just for parents. I say to my son, you know, he gets angry. Great. Get angry. Brilliant. I love it. Cry. And I say to him, come on, Pierce, what do you need? What do you need? And often people don't know. Okay, I hate you, Mum. Okay, let's just stop the toxic shit now. Yeah. Let's drop down into our bodies. What are you feeling? Frightened, Mum. Frightened. I'm feeling really frightened. My stomach's going round in circles. Okay, yeah. And what do you value, Pierce? Well, I like to know. I like to know what's happening. And, you know, that made me feel like frightened because I don't know what was happening next. It was all new to me. Right. Okay. You value certainty, don't you? You value certainty. And if we focus on what do we need, feel and value, bring life back to you. Bring life back, not with a stupid selfie. Oh, I'm so pretty. My dress is from Zara. My lips are from Botox. No. What do I need, feel and value? And this is what messed me up with my TV career. I was so focused on the externals, my hair, you know, being perfect, my bum being too fat. I forgot to think about what I need, feel and value. And I missed the whole magic of 20 years in TV.
Yeah.
We're all blocking our miracles. By
not looking at who we actually are.
Well, what you need, feel and value. That's my door.
Okay.
Someone's at my door. What you need, feel and value, Michelle, okay, is inside of you. What you look like and blaming, shaming and judging, these are all things outside of ourselves. And when we look outside of ourselves, we give away our power. We give away our energy. Yeah?
Definitely.
When we look inside of ourselves, we're building our power base. We are our power base. Need, feel and value. Everything you do, what do I need, feel and value? And you can Google it, you know, values. You need to do an exercise. Another of my exercises called value mining. Everybody needs to do value mining. Everybody needs to know my biggest value is growth and learning. Ask yourself now, what is yours? And then write it down and write down 5. Because I know that if I'm on a podcast talking about where I get my hair blow dried or what moisturizer I use on my face, I might as well shoot myself. Because that is not helping my growth and learning value.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
100%.
It's satisfying. I don't know. Maybe it's making me money or
superficial need.
It's what?
It's a superficial need, isn't it?
Yeah, it's someone else's value system. For me, that's an unhealthy, but that's what you unravel in therapy. So I want to know everything I do needs to be linked to value and to growth and learning. My second thing is freedom. You know, I was asked on another podcast, and you know, she said I don't like the word life coach. My agent doesn't know. I ain't doing that podcast. Because I need to be free to express myself. Or maybe she'll have a chat with me about why she doesn't like the word life coach.
Yeah.
I need to feel free. That's another value. So think while you're listening to me warbling on, think about what your values are. My other value is luxury, glamour.
Okay.
Yeah. Even when I have no money.
I can see the chandelier in the background.
Yeah. But for me, luxury means It doesn't mean having a Ferrari. That's not what I mean. It means when I have a coffee, I want it in a cup that an artisan has made, that someone's put their hands on, as opposed to a machine. I want to know that the capsule that I'm drinking my coffee from, you know, that coffee trader has been paid a fair wage.
Yeah.
Do you get it? That's
100%.
to me what mastery is.
Yeah.
And we don't think enough about that shit. Anyway, did I tell you I've got a book out? Mastering the Single
I was just
Parent
about
Game?
to ask you, actually. So on Melissa, reading the reviews, people are saying that the way that it is written is speaking directly to them. It's almost like they can hear your voice jumping off the pages. Is that what you wanted to do?
Well, the thing is, that's interesting. What did I want to do? There's several things I wanted to do. I'm not a very good salesperson, yeah? So the only reason why it's about parenting is because I thought, well, everybody wants to niche you nowadays, don't they? You know, when I was on TV, I was a property expert. So maybe I'll be a parenting expert. The truth is, this is a book that's a 15-minute read, because I think we like to consume things quickly nowadays.
Yeah.
And it's almost like it will help anybody that wants to have a happier day. Anybody that wants to be a better version of themselves in that
You
day.
totally need to change the cover then. Let's do a second release, and let's do this is for everyone.
This book is for everybody. Yeah. Like, for example, keep your rule 3, it's 15 rules. Keep your business, and your ex's theirs. Yeah. What that means is, you know, when you're in a relationship with either a friend or with your partner, and you decide no longer to be in the close proximity of that sort of relationship, that doesn't mean you can start blurbing out their secrets. You know, business secrets, relationship secrets, friends secrets. No, you were entrusted, you know, with secrets. So just because the relationship has ended, could be in business, could be with your friends, no, keep those secrets to yourself.
Yeah, the trust remains even though the relationship doesn't.
Yes, exactly. Patience, gratitude, and kindness will be your superpowers. Now that's why rule 8 is really good. So what I was saying there is, most people, their whole DNA is run on fear, shame, judgment, and our psychology, the words we speak in our head, directly affect our physiology, and our physiology it's the way we feel. Yeah. And the way we feel directly affects our behavior. Does that make sense? So what's going inside of us?
Connected.
Yeah, Joe Dispenza, I trained with him, and there was a woman in the audience, and she said, Joe, she said, you know, you're talking about manifesting, and I want to live in the south of France on a super yacht. Fair, you know, lots of people have ambitions and dreams. And he said, okay, that's not going to happen. For you, he said, because your personality, it doesn't match your reality.
Okay. True.
So what he was saying to her was, whatever you think inside of you, yeah, you will see outside of you. So you can fake your life. You can pretend like I was pretending on television. Yeah, I'm amazing, I'm confident, but deep inside I was feeling like a piece of shit. And that was a reflection. How was that reflected? I didn't have great friends. I definitely didn't have great partner around me. The guys that I was attracting were narcissistic psychopaths.
Yeah.
So we need to train ourselves as women, as men, that the quality of our thoughts is everything. And what's interesting is, right, one of the things that I learned as a child, it's just a thought that popped into my head. Melissa, live like you're on Big Brother.
Okay. And live like everyone's watching.
Everyone needs to do that. Don't shut the door and suddenly become a bitch. Don't go to your family. Don't go to your family's house and become a psychopath. Yeah, just because you feel relaxed with your family. Don't be nasty to your partner just because you can get away with abusing him. No, because the quality of your thoughts, you'll always get found out, because your reality, what's going on around you, it always matches your psychology.
Oh, I love that. That's such an amazing analogy.
Yeah.
So I think we need a new cover, Melissa. Let's go for a new cover.
Yes. Okay.
But remove single parent. What about just mastering the game? Or mastering the life game? Yeah.
Yeah, good. Okay.
And you've got some more books in the works, haven't you?
Yeah.
One is going to be called Who Am I Before Everyone Else Had an Opinion. Is that based on, does that go all the way back to childhood? Or would you say it's more adults?
Yeah. Look, for me, what's fascinating at the moment with all the woke brigade, with all the kind of the extending of the genders, it's just humans recognizing that infinite, unlimited possibilities. People are like, whoa. And one of the things that I'm fascinated and that I coach clients with is rebuilding the human robot.
Okay.
Yes, it's my version of artificial intelligence. So it's just my fascination with psychology and, realizing who we are. It ain't complicated, A therapist that locks you in for 3 years is not a good therapist, in my view. Yeah. Because what we need to be doing as therapists is we need to be reminding humans of what they already know, but what they've forgotten, because they have been lumped with so much shitty opinions from other people that they've suppressed the true essence of who they really were. And that's
it's
just
about removing all of that, isn't it? And getting back to the core.
Peeling back the onion. And that's what the book's about. Yeah. So it's based on my experiences, a lot of science in there because I'm obsessed with reading. I'm reading Stephen Hawking's Brief Answers to the Big Questions. I like reading. So
what's kind of the next big thing for you? Where do you see things going in? I know that you're happy in your life at the moment, but what's kind of coming next, would you say?
So one of the things that I would love is when I had my son, I was being tested. I was being screen tested by NBC in Stamford, Connecticut, for the Maury Povich show.
I love Maury Povich. I used to watch him all the time.
Obsessed with Jeremy Kyle. Obsessed with Jerry Springer. I think he's dead now. Obsessed.
See, it's human behaviour. That's why you're obsessed.
And some people judge, the contributors on these type of shows. These are my people, because for me, I like real and raw. That's the hook. My Instagram hook, real and raw. I like to feel, and that's why I said I like small talk. Sometimes when you meet celebrities, they have to be quite guarded because it's a brand. I get it. But I like real and raw people who want to share about what they're feeling, their vulnerabilities, their fears, because that for me that's the way that we connect as humans. I don't give a shit about what colour lipstick you've got, although it looks quite nice and I might want to know later, but I don't want to have a conversation about clothes because that's you just need money for clothes. But, what you can have if you've got no money is an awareness of who you are. Just go on the internet, and learn more about who you are. That is the biggest gift that you can give yourself as a human. And if you've got kids, or if you're a mother, or if you're a friend, or if you're a partner, or if you're a business leader, people will feel that you have done the work on yourself.
Yeah. And people will see that you've done the work on yourself as well, because like you say, your inner thoughts reflect what is going on around you. Definitely. So the more work you do, the more you will get to where you want to be.
Definitely. I can feel a bitch a mile off. I can sense a bitch. Can you as well? Yeah.
It's that like aura, isn't it? You don't even have to be in front of people. Like you said, you can walk into a room and instantly know that is not the person that I want to be in my energy, essentially.
Yeah. And by the way, if you're a bitch, please do hire me as your therapist, because I'm happy to work with bitches. That's absolutely no problem, because a bitch is simply a fear-filled person.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And to become a bitch, you will have been treated like a bitch at some stage,
Mm-hmm.
or you will have feelings of entitlement and grandiose. I get it.
Yeah.
I'll work with you. But just in my spare time, I'm not, I like to assemble. I've got incredibly high vibrational humans around me,
Mm-hmm.
who we build each other up, and you want this in your business as well. You want people who are high vibration, who are have a can-do attitude, who are
Definitely.
solution orientated, and who are complementary and offer different skills to you.
Mm-hmm. 1,000,000%. So sorry, you were saying about Maury Povich.
Yeah, that's my dream.
Okay.
That's it. That's my dream. That is my dream. A Jeremy Kyle style format.
Okay. What's holding
That's
you
it.
back, Melissa? Let's get this done.
Yes. How? Manifest.
Would you like it in this country or over in the States?
I think in the States is my natural inclination, that I've got one fundamental problem. I'm in love with my partner, and I've been with him nearly 5 years. He will not get on a plane.
Oh, damn it. That's a sticking
He will
point for
not get
you.
on a plane, and I love being with him. I love being with him. So aside from me horse tranquilizing him, I don't know. But
Which
I
is
just
not
have to trust.
recommended, disclaimer.
No. But yeah, Maury Povich, Jeremy Kyle, that's my format. That is my dream.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
well, let's do an in between. Let's do a live video link on those programs as the human behavior expert that comes on. You don't have to physically be there. You can still have your dream and still be living in the UK.
Do a virtual one.
Yeah.
All right, let's set
Anything
it up.
is possible.
I like that, Michelle. I like it. I
Yeah.
like it. Can I just say, my bell has gone twice.
Oh, shoot.
My doorbell's gone twice, and my gates have gone twice. So there's someone sat outside my gates. Just let me have a look on my cameras.
Okay.
Who's there? Yeah, and I think we've overrun, and I'm really now I'm stopping people doing their other jobs. So
Okay, well, it has been wonderful to chat to you. I will leave the link to your book underneath, and your links to your website, so everyone can hop on there and find out more. I could literally talk to you all day.
It was so fun. Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's been brilliant. Thank you for coming on.
I've loved it. Thank you, Michelle. And just keep kind of, if you're listening at home, just do you, not in an egotistical way. I look nice, let's have my cheeks done. No, forget that shit. As women, we need to empower ourselves, by becoming who we were always created to be, the best version of ourselves. We need to lead the world through shine the inside of yourself.
Yeah, 100%. What a lovely note to leave it on. That's fantastic. Well, I shall let you go and get your gates and door, and it's been lovely. I'll speak to you later.